All right, my favorite Spanish tapas plate is the stuffed piquillo pepper, and that's it, piquillo. All right, you got to get the exact variety, and when you buy them, make sure you look through the jar. Make sure they're all whole, there's no tears, they're a nice triangular shape. They have a very specific shape, the piquillo. It's a type of a pimento, actually. That was some goat cheese. We had 8 ounces of just regular plain old goat cheese, 1 orange, and some ground cumin. All right, now the stuffing for these peppers is very simple, yet incredibly exotic and delicious. We're going to take some orange zest. I'm going to do, and again, you got to get one of these zesters. You've heard me tell you before about those. I did about 5 drags down the orange, and when I dice that, I'm sorry, not dice, mince. When I mince that up, you're going to have about a teaspoon minced. And again, with any zest, you really got to mince it fine. So just keep mincing until it just almost disappears. And then throw that onto your softened goat cheese. All right. Next, we are going to take about a teaspoon of our nice ground cumin. Again, get a high quality, expensive variety. Amazing taste difference between that and that dust you have in the cupboard for 14 years. So that was about a teaspoon of that. That really does give it a real exotic kind of smoky accent. And just to thin this just a hair, I'm going to juice in not even half an orange. I didn't squeeze it all the way. I wanted about a tablespoon to a tablespoon and a half of orange juice. All right, just a little hint. That was a couple grinds of black pepper and just a pinch of salt, maybe a half a teaspoon of salt. And that is the stuffing for these peppers. Now these piquillos are so amazingly flavorful. You don't really need a lot happening with the stuffing. Now I want you to take your spatula and I want you to give that a really good mix. Number one, you got to mix all that zest in nice and evenly. All right, all your spices in nice and evenly. But you're also making it nice and soft so it pipes very easily. Now speaking of piping, I think I have a piping bag somewhere in my kitchen, but I don't know where it is because I never use it because I always just use the old Ziploc bag trick. Now, you've probably seen this on TV before. If not, welcome to a great, great technique. Take your softened goat cheese, all right, add it to a heavy-duty Ziploc bag. Now, get the name brand, all right, stay away from the dollar store Ziploc bags. It's okay for some stuff, but when we're doing, we're going to squeeze cheese out of something, you want the heavy-duty, nice freezer bag. All right, pull up the sides, and then what you want is you want to just kind of shake that and smush that and rub that down into one of the corners. And you've basically just made, see, we're going to snip off that little tip, and you've made yourself a nice instant piping bag. When you're done, you throw it away. No fuss, no muss. Very nice. And there's our man, those are beautiful. Our beautiful Spanish piquillo pepper. You're going to get about a dozen, maybe 10 out of one of those 8-ounce jars. They feel really nice. They taste even better, okay? So let's stuff these, and that's a very simple process. Now, a couple things here. You're going to take your piping bag, also known as Ziploc freezer bag, and just cut off the bottom ½ inch there. All right, and again, it's got to be soft enough to squeeze. If it's too cold, let it come to room temperature. Otherwise, you're going to have a real hard time here. Open it up. Now, don't pipe all the way up. Squeeze in about a tablespoon and a half, maybe a tablespoon. You want to go about halfway to 2/3 of the way up. See, I want to be able, whoops, let me taste a little bit there, it fell down. What you want to do is just squeeze the top and it will seal. See, I want the cheese to be invisible. I want it to be like a surprise, like, what's in those? Ah, orange cumin scented goat cheese, interesting. So there is one stuffed piquillo pepper. These are so sexy and delicious, and I've never served these where people weren't like, oh my God, that's the best thing I've ever tasted. So again, when you squeeze it in, don't go all the way to the top. All right, make sure you give yourself enough room to fold it like that into a nice little package. All right, so I did the rest of those. I didn't bore you with watching me stuff all those. And when I was done, I put it on a beautiful Spanish plate made in China. And I drizzled on some of my salsa verde. That's an almond and parsley sauce, a little garlic. So delicious on this, very traditional. I'm going to show you how to make that in another demo. But that, I think, is just such a spectacular appetizer. There's nothing like the flavor of a piquillo pepper. It is, it's roasted over fire. Okay, they peel it over a wood fire. It is a very specific variety of Spanish pepper. It has just such a deep, sweet, amazing flavor. Not hard to find. Okay, you can find it on the site. It'll be at that specialty gourmet shop in the roasted pepper section. I threw a couple almonds on there because my sauce had almonds. Again, I love tapas. They're one of my favorite types of food. I hope you give this a try and enjoy.